Why would I choose Saudi Arabia over other countries, Gulf countries? First, was it because of salary? Was it because of safety? Was there any other reason? You will know in this video. Did you know traveling to whichever country amongst the several countries in the Gulf region is by your choice? I chose Saudi Arabia. And you will ask, why did I choose Saudi Arabia? Was it because of salary? Was it because of safety? Was it because of some other reason? I will explain to you why I chose the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to come and work here as a house manager, despite there being some other several options, other countries like Bahrain, Lebanon, Qatar, and others. But first, let's explain. Let me make you understand why I chose to come and work abroad. This was the reason. It wasn't because life in my country, which is Kenya, was hard. Life wasn't hard in Kenya. And in Africa, as others, there is a notion that people assume that for someone to come seeking a job here in the Gulf countries, life is tough. In Africa, life must have really pushed them to the wall. In their countries, that's not the case. No, I had several reasons as to why I chose to come to work here. I wanted to gain some exposure. I had been born in Kenya, lived in Kenya, done everything in Kenya. Now I needed some exposure. And my mind really wanted to understand how other races do their things, how they live their lives. So the easiest place I would go to, it was in Gulf region. And why specifically this country? It was because by the time I was seeking this opportunity, it was the easiest country I could get myself connected to. It was nearing the Ramadan period. And so during that period, the people in these Gulf countries, the people, especially in Saudi Arabia, they tend to employ a lot of house managers because the work that they need to be done during that moment of Ramadan is a lot, and they can't do it on their own. It is so much overwhelming that they need people to help them. So the process tends to be faster and quicker than some other time. So that was the time I had decided to come here. And comparing with the processes for other countries, this was faster. And because I needed something fast, I chose to come here. After doing some good research about it, about some other countries, including this Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, I came to realize that Saudi Arabia had a lot of strict rules. It was so strict than some other countries in the Gulf region. And so, because I needed exposure, but again, I needed to put myself in a situation where if I was in a very strict environment, would I survive? Would I be able to cope with so harsh and strict rules in this life? I needed to see how my personality could cope in that. And so I decided I'm going to choose Saudi Arabia. The other reason was among the agencies that I had researched and the agents, I found out that the agent for Saudi who was taking me to Saudi Arabia was actually easy to work with. He was straightforward. And also, when it comes to the processes, he was working so fast than some other agents that I had spoken to. So I decided to use him. But it doesn't mean that he wasn't able to take me to some other countries. Of course, he has taken people to other countries, Qatar and others, Dubai, name them. But myself, I was specifically aiming at Saudi Arabia for, again, another reason. In these processes, you need some money. Of course, you need to apply for some things here and there, passports, medical tests. You can't just sit there and wait for the day you are going to travel. So with my budget, I had my savings, yes, but it wasn't so much that would allow me to pay for some bigger commission because other countries demanded a very high commission for you to travel to those countries. But at the time I was seeking this job in Saudi Arabia, there wasn't any commission to be paid. The only things that I had to pay for were the small requirements that I needed to travel. So according to my budget, Saudi Arabia really fitted in my situation. That was another reason I chose to come here. Also, as I was researching, it was so easy to get some testimonies from other people who had visited Saudi Arabia, and their visit, their stay here, their working was okay and successful, and now they were back in Kenya. So talking to them, I saw like there's nothing to fear. The only thing I needed to do was to have faith. The only thing I needed to do was to have faith in God and to put God first in everything that I was doing. So I chose, after hearing a lot of very good testimonies from other people. Another thing was that I expected some things from Saudi Arabia as I was coming. I had to learn a lot of things, learn new ideas. In my next video, I'm going to share things that I expected and how I found the reality in Saudi Arabia after traveling. I'm going to share with you all those things and also answer your questions in my next videos. If you want more stories like this, if you want to know anything concerning Saudi Arabia, concerning Gulf, concerning the processes of coming to work in Gulf, feel free to write your question in the comments and I'm gonna work on that. Bye.